Welcome back to This is Friendship. I'm Karli, here today with part 2 of my conversation with Valentina Huerta. I know you're going to love the rest of her story just like you did the first part, so let's get started right where we left off at the end of episode 32. Your restaurant is Nonna, and you recently went into another business venture. Tell our listeners about that and why.
So why is the big one? Truly, it was a way for us to diversify, right? 2020 was so weird in so many levels that at one point we literally sat there and we were like, okay, so we're doing takeout. Is the world going to be only takeout? Is the world going to be portable? Is the world going to be nomadic? Is the world going to be in a box? Are we moving to that model, to that business model? Will we ever be able to sit side by side in Nonna and chat with your next door neighbor and not feel like you're going to die the next day? It sounds horrible, but in 2020, I think that we all went into doom and gloom. So we said, I think that we need to evolve. I think that we need to move with the times. And what we thought about was a gourmet store that had everything that we deemed essential: wine, coffee, cheese, beer, and spices. That was essential for us. So Nomada was born. Nomada is the little sister of Nonna, and it's a gourmet store with a little coffee corner. I have been wanting to do a wine store for a little bit. That was where I was going with that. But then with 2020 and everybody doing to-go food, we were like, okay, well, let's also put food in there. That created another channel for us to introduce our food and what we make at Nonna in another zip code as well. So that gave hours to everybody in the kitchen. That gave movement to some of our inventory in so many levels. There's so many operational efficiencies with having two rather than one. Obviously, beginnings are always scary, but I feel like it was also a breath of fresh air for us in 2020. It was something new and shiny, right? Like we were all thinking of the end of the world, and sometimes you just need a new and shiny to get you through and to whoop your butt a little bit.
I certainly do not consider myself a connoisseur or anything of wine. I just know if I like the glass or not.
That's all you need, by the way. The rest is BS.
I always appreciated that I would sit at the bar, my favorite spot to sit, because you're behind there a lot of the time and chatting it up. And then you make suggestions. And it's not something that I ever would have tasted had it not been for you and your unique selection that you have at Nonna, as well as you being able to assess what someone's going to like based on the questions you ask them. Your new venture has this amazing selection that is not like walking into any other wine store. How do you make your selections, and who do you work with to be able to get those unique wines?
So it's kind of the same mindset that we have at Nonna, right? Like nothing against California, but let's get outside of California cab here. There's so much out there in the world of wine that to be so encapsulated in the one thing you like is a disservice. At Nomada and at Nonna, we kind of poke. We're like, tick, 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 tick. Excuse me, I think you should like this. Or you would like it. I feel like creatures of habit. I think it's human nature to be stuck in your ways. I'll take a Chard. It's like, well, why do you like a Chard? You like a Chardonnay because it's crisp and refreshing? Maybe let's try a Viognier, right? Why not explore? You're welcome to say, hey, I don't like it. That's perfectly fine. Or I really like it, but I like my Chard, and that's okay. But we believe in taking you out of your comfort zone a little bit and shaking it up. Life's too short.
Agreed. Tell everyone where Nomada is.
So Nomada is on 24th Street in Osborne. So just north of Osborne on 24th Street.
It's a little bit tricky to get into. It's a cute little white house. It's a great little space. I think the assortment in there for pulling together a gift basket or a housewarming gift, or if you're going to a party coming up for the holidays, it's a great place to stop and get some things for a hostess gift.
Conversation pieces, right? Things that are not your traditional chips and dip. Why not talk about this wine? Why not do some research? Why not bring these crackers that are made with quinoa and they don't have wheat, but they're super delicious, things like that. I think that we should start seeing food as a gift in so many levels. Start knowing where your things come from, but also see the value of it. For somebody, let's just say somebody who is celiac, right? What a gift to be able to have a cracker that tastes like a cracker that's not going to make you like super, super ill. So things like that, or cheeses. I mean, we always have like the same cheeses all the time. Try something new and weird and just bring maybe like a block of cheese and wine to your next gathering. And then let's just talk about that. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I like that stuff.
Yeah.
That makes me happy. It's a very selfish store because I think it's those things that I would eat all the time. But I think that people should eat more of that. They would probably be happier. There'd be less wars if people sat down and had some wine and some cheese together, I think.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
You talked about knowing where the things that you buy come from. You are a big supporter of women-owned business. You're involved with something in Phoenix called Women in Food, correct?
Yes, Arizona Women in Food.
Tell our listeners what that is and events, that kind of thing.
Arizona Women in Food was born kind of like Nomada out of necessity. A lot of women owners of establishments that are related to food and beverage. So beer, coffee, wine, restaurants, caterers, private chefs. In the industry, it's funny because it seems like there are so many restaurants, but we all know each other, or you know somebody who knows each other. So we started this group in 2020, basically as a support group. It was kind of like the AA of women restaurant owners, you know, it's like, hi, my name is Valentina. I have a restaurant. It's really bad. You know, I need a friend. It really was. We were all on the same boat. What can we do? Let's face our problems together. I think that women are good about that, right? We like to make collectives and we like to stick together. And it was very interesting how it morphed from a woohoo pity session into, okay, what on earth are we going to do to get out of this hole? We almost had enough of pity sessions, right? So towards, I think, the fall of last year, we were like, okay, let's make some money. Look at all of us. Look at how many collectively, look at how many followers we have. Look at how many people, you know, rallying in our corner. Let's get this going. And so we started doing these collaboration dinners where we have a pod, we call them pods. So groups of 3, we get together and we started doing takeouts, meal for 2, takeout. You could pick it up in different restaurants. We did that last year. It was a huge success. For a lot of us, it actually meant paying rent. And I don't say that lightly because 2020 was not pretty. And for some of us, we literally looked at each other and said, whoa, this allowed me to pay my people. The support from the community was huge. I think that everybody wanted to do something good. Everybody wanted to support local businesses to the best of their abilities. Hey, there was people, you know, furloughed left and right. And it was still a treat. You know, it was a glimpse of happy. You know, you could get this really cute care package on Friday that had all these beautifully prepared little meals that was a treat. Maybe it was you were doing it to help, but maybe you were doing it because you had a really crappy week trying to find a job and you couldn't, or you were furloughed and, you know, homeschooling your kids, and all you wanted to do was to sit there and have this beautiful meal that was super exotic or super fancy or something that wasn't coming out of your kitchen, and a glass of wine, and things were good. And so I feel like the first 3 series that we did last year was kind of like that, right? Like a little sprinkle of fun. And this year, we're getting ready to start our in-person series because now we can dine in. And so you just purchase the ticket for that and show up and we cook for you. And it's this collaboration dinner. We are collaborating with Farish House, Lori Hassler, and The Cellar in Ahwatukee, Shannon Rush. And we're going to do it at the Farish House. It's let's get together and do something fun. I know that for my regulars, that's always something fun, right? To go to another restaurant and root for your chef and sit down with like-minded people and have a meal that is created in the same essence as Nonna. We're collaborating to bring you a moment of joy. In a world full of chaos, you can sit down for 2 hours and just kind of whoosh, chill for a little bit, right? We're small restaurants. That's the other thing. We'd rather have one night where we pack the house. For example, ours is on a Tuesday. And then we open our restaurant on Wednesday. Lori's shutting down her restaurant just to do this. So, you know, we'd rather have maybe a petit comité, but people who truly understand what we're doing, I think that we're going to go a little crazy on ours and do a couple more than just 3 courses. But of course, that's the overachievers in us.
Let's talk about friendship. Being from another country, I'm interested to know about making friends. You're well traveled too, and you lived other places for extended periods of time. What are the similarities and differences you have experienced in making friends and friendships in different countries?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. Most of my friends are an eclectic bunch of weirdos, kind of like me. Honestly, I think that being that we're all human, I think it's just a change in language. I have been fortunate enough to make friends in many countries. And my true friends, like true friends, I can count with my hands. But when I tell you that they're my true friends, these are people who I have literally called in the US and they're like in Europe and they're like, okay, I'm flying over there tomorrow. Like, if you need me, I'm there. I think that when you are away from home and when you choose to make your life a nomadic journey, you really count on your friends. They become your family. I still have friends in Mexico. In France, we made friends. The scholarship that I was fortunate enough to have kind of forced you to have a family for a year. So the 15 students actually lived together. So I lived with another 9 girls, and then the boys lived in another apartment.
Wow.
That was like a ginormous sorority house, right? But I can tell you that these individuals who I shared this year with I actually call them brothers and sisters. They're my brothers and sisters. I didn't choose them, destiny and the scholarship chose them for me, but they're my sisters. They're my family. When you decide to move and travel the way that we have, your friendships needs to be really strong and in a really deep level, because you can't text people at 2 a.m. when you have a pickle because they're sleeping. They're in Europe. But when you do sit and have a glass of wine on Zoom or FaceTime, it's like time never passed. You laugh at the same jokes. You become older and wiser and you talk about your ailments and your new pair of reading glasses, but you're on the same wavelength. I think it's a matter of energy. I think that because we have decided to move and travel, the friendships that we have are incredibly strong and solid and true. So it really doesn't matter which country it was in. The people who we choose as our select family or our friends are there like for reals. And the one thing that I actually in 2020 realized, and we had a lot of aha moments, I think, when you're sitting in a restaurant that is used to being packed and it's empty and it's gloomy and you're super down. You have so many aha moments. And one thing that was insane was the amount of friends that we have made at Nonna. And I don't use that term loosely. I mean, I'm so fortunate of the people that have come into both of our lives because of Nonna. We have built this tribe. And I do mean that it's such a nice way. It's a tribe of people with their own backpacks of talents and incredible experiences. And when I say we're weird, our tribe is weird. We have writers and real estate agents and single moms and gymnasts and wine vendors and winemakers and race car drivers, romance slash porn novel writers, nail bar owners of many super random businesses, farmers. What do you want? We got. These are people who, during 2020, looked at us in the eyes and said, you will not fail. We want Nonna to be here. We know that this is important for you guys, and we will help you through this. And to this day, I mean, I'm incredibly thankful. I think that obviously, they say crises actually help you figure out who's with you and who's not. We're so fortunate because it's not just, oh, he's my customer. No, no, no. I mean, some of my best friends started selling wine to me at Nonna, and now take care of my dogs if I want to take a day off. Like, it's just crazy. How wonderful is that? I think that if I were to sell Nonna today, that's my payment. These people that are with me thick or thin and are friends and check up on you, and you're there for them and they're there for you. And that's awesome.
That's a testament to both of you and that big idea you had when you started Nonna, and obviously translated. Both you and Gianfranco make everyone feel at home and like they are special. I know that's how you made me feel. And I see when I'm there and I look around, you're doing that with absolutely every person who walks through your door. And Chef is doing that through his food. So that's a testament to have a weird tribe, which is way more fun than a non-weird tribe, if you ask me.
That's for sure.
Oh my goodness. So it has been lovely to chat with you today. Will you please share for our listeners how they can learn more about you and what you do and support you along the way?
Well, I invite you to come to Nonna and to Nomada. You can follow us on our social media. It's known as Scottsdale on Instagram. We are kind of all about Instagram, and Nomada PHX, NOMADAPHX. Our website is nomadaphx.com, and for Nonna, it's nonnascottsdale.com. And you can see what we got going on, any specials, any fun things, or just stop by, say hi, get a cup of coffee.
And then what about the Women in Food event? How do people learn more about that?
That's through our Instagram as well. It's AZ Women in Food. And go through TOC, which is a reservation system, TOCK. If you look up Phoenix, the events will be posted there. We use them for all our events. So all the events will pop up there as well.
Thank you for that. Listeners, I'll have all of this linked in the show notes. So if you missed anything that Val just said, you can pop out to the show notes and click on the links there. At This Is Friendship, we feel that friendship is life's happiness. It makes life a happier place to be. Tell us how friendship enhances your life.
For somebody who is a roaming gnome like I am, having friends is like having a really nice pair of shoes, like a nice pair of walking shoes or hiking boots, right? They're there. They make your life better. They help you be you. They help you walk through hard hiking routes. And sometimes they just sit there and they're silent with you. Some of my best friends and I love sitting and having a glass of wine and not even talking. Like Pooh and Piglet, like sometimes it's just there. I just sit with you. I think that we underestimate the power of being silent with one another and yet being completely comforted by that. So for me, that's friendship. It's that hug. However it comes, if it comes in a plate of food and a glass of wine, just sitting with somebody looking at the ocean and just sitting there, doing nothing, sharing silence. What a great way to be together on this energy frequency. That's friendship for me. It's my hug.
Oh, you're so special. I think that you should write plaques with quotes on them or something.
Oh, I know. I have a couple. Get water, drink wine. Yeah.
I'm someone who appreciates the aesthetics of a space. So I love coming into Nonna, but I really love coming into Nomada because of the eclectic things that you have found and the story you tell on your walls and the way things are placed. It always brightens my day.
Thank you. Thank you for being one of those people that we found through Nonna, because you're one of those that come in and you're like, hello. And it's energy, right? You come in to chill at Nonna, but your energy also lifts it up. You're one of those people that we found, and you're such a cheerleader to what we do, and it's super appreciated.
Thank you. I feel so fortunate to have you in my world as well as Chef. And now when he looks at me strangely, I'll remember that it's about the light.
He's measuring the light.
It's not something on my face.
No.
I think the world of both of you, and I am so appreciative of you joining us today. You are a bright light in this world, and what you do and how you impact the people that come through your doors and your friends is so amazing. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Listeners, I want to say thank you so much for joining us today. Remember, we'd love to hear from you. You can DM us on Instagram at This Is Friendship Podcast. You can send us an email at hello@thisisfriendshippodcast.com. Please join us again next episode when we have another amazing guest join us. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.